गए, जो लड़का एक वीडियो बना रहा था दुकान जलने का, उस पे भी अटैक किया। ही हैड टू जंप इनटू द रिवर टू सेव हिज लाइफ। ये लेडी माँ के घर के साथ तो ऐसा किया, पर ढाका में हम शाका पौला नहीं पहन सकते। मैंने कहा शाका पौला क्या होता है? यदि जैसे सब कलेवा बांधते हैं ना, तो शक्ति का प्रतीक होती हैं। ढाका में भी हम, शहर में भी हम नहीं पहन सकते। वही उसने कहा कि है 3 दिन से वो खड़ी नहीं हो पा रही। उसने आगे कहा, लंबी बात हुई, कहते दीदी राहुल आनंद जो गायक हैं, वो तो बांग्लादेश में सबके, बांग्लादेश के स्वाभिमान की बात करता था। ही वॉज द बांग्ला प्राइड। लिटन दास जो नेशनल क्रिकेट प्लेयर है, वो भी हुआ है। मैं 80 साल की हूँ, मैंने देखा है, मेरे पिताजियों ने देखा है, माताजी ने देखा है, दादा ने देखा है। 1946 का डायरेक्ट एक्शन डे देखा है, जो भारत की आजादी से 1 साल पहले था। 16 अगस्त 1946 को डायरेक्ट एक्शन डे कलकत्ता में हुआ। उसके आसपास हुआ। सुहारवर्दी और जिन्ना के कहने पे हुआ कि वी वॉन्ट अ डिवाइडेड इंडिया और वी वॉन्ट अ डिस्ट्रॉयड इंडिया। कहते एक ही दिन में नोआखली में 50,000 हिंदुओं को मार दिया गया। डायरेक्ट एक्शन मीन्स व्हाट? टेक एन एक्शन देयर एंड देन। स्ट्रीट वायलेंस, जो मिलता है उसको खत्म करो, जो मिलता है उसके साथ दुर्व्यवहार करो, लूटो जलाओ, कुछ करो। वी वॉन्ट दिस प्लेस विदाउट हिंदूज। कहते हैं गोपाल पाड़ा उस समय नहीं होते। कहते हैं आज हम लोग पाठा नहीं होते, गोपाल पाठा, आज हम बच्चे ना होते, कलकत्ता भी जा चुका होता बांग्लादेश के अंदर। कहते हमने देखा है वो सब 1947 में कुछ ठीक नहीं हुआ। 2 महीने नोआखली में राइट्स चले, कुछ ठीक नहीं हुआ। कहते उसके बाद हम रात को बंगाल में सोए थे, हम भारत में रात को सोए थे, सुबह उठे तो वो ईस्ट पाकिस्तान बन चुका था। कहते हमारी क्या गलती है? हम तो हिंदुस्तानी थे ना, कल भी थे और आज भी है। कहते हम तो हिंदुस्तान में सोए थे, सुबह उठे तो हम ईस्ट पाकिस्तान में जा गए। कहते फिर दंगे हुए वहां। उसके बाद भारत जब विभाजन हुआ 1947 में, हम ईस्ट पाकिस्तान में जा गए। तब ट्रीटी हुई ना दोनों देशों की, ईस्ट पाकिस्तान और भारत की, कि जो माइनॉरिटीज हैं उनको सेफली रखा जाएगा, उनकी प्रोटेक्शन हर देश में की जाएगी। इसलिए बांग्लादेश का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन भी आया, जिसने कहा बांग्लादेश इज अ सेक्युलर कंट्री। ये मुझे वो माँ बता रही है। हम सोचते हैं हम ही पढ़े लिखे हैं, वो बता रही है कि बांग्लादेश में लिखा गया सेक्युलर कंट्री है। वही हिंदूज को, बुद्धिस्ट को, क्रिश्चियंस को, सबको मिलेंगे, ये लिखा गया। यदि लिखने से क्या होता है? आप जिसको विजय दिवस करके सेलिब्रेट करते हो ना, वो 1971 में जब मुक्ति वाहिनी जीती, यहां पर से पाकिस्तान उर्दू स्पीकिंग हिंदू भारत में जाकर शरणार्थी हुए थे। क्या आप जानते हो? कहते आप बनाते हो, इतने पाकिस्तानियों ने आपके सामने सरेंडर कर दिया गया, लुट पिट के चले गए थे। कहते 1988 में फिर जो बांग्लादेश इस्लामिक राज्य घोषित हो गया, इस्लामिक राज्य, तब हमारे साथ ये सब हुआ। 1992 कहते एक आपके बाबरी ढांचा टूटा था। लज्जा क्या है उपन्यास, 100-150 पेज का उपन्यास है। कहते दीदी पढ़ो। कहते लज्जा में उसने यही लिखा है कि एक हिंदू की क्या कहानी है, और खासकर जब बाबरी ढांचा टूटा तो उस हिंदू के ऊपर क्या बीती, यही तो लिखा था। उसको बांग्लादेश छोड़ना पड़ा। हैदराबाद गई, उस पर अटैक हुए, यहाँ पर रेडिकल्स ने अटैक किया, अब मारी मारी फिर रही है। एक किताब तो लिखी थी और सच्ची घटनाओं पे आधारित लिखी थी उसने। वो बोल रही थी, मैं सुन रही थी। तो उसने कहा दीदी कुछ ठीक नहीं। उसने कहा मानका जी कुछ ठीक नहीं होगा। तभी उसके जो लड़की के फादर थे, उन्होंने फोन ले लिया। उन्होंने कहा यहाँ के कानूनों ने हिंदुओं की, बुद्धिस्ट की, क्रिश्चियंस की कमर तोड़ दी है। फिर यहाँ ऐसे ऐसे कानून ले आए हैं, वेस्टेड प्रॉपर्टी एक्ट, कि सरकार किसी भी संपत्ति को अपने कब्जे में ले सकती है। हमारी संपत्तियां चली जाती हैं, हमें पता भी नहीं चलता। सरकार 1951 में लेके आई है ईस्ट बंगाल इवैक्यूएज एक्ट कि पार्टीशन के समय में जो ईस्ट पाकिस्तान छोड़कर हिंदू भारत आ गया था, उन सबकी संपत्ति कब्जे में कर लेती है। हमें कहती है तुम भी छोड़कर चले गए थे, हमारी संपत्ति भी ले लेती है। उसके बाद 1964 में आया डिस्टर्ब्ड पर्सन्स रिहैबिलिटेशन ऑर्डिनेंस कि जो भी हिंदू बुद्धिस्ट क्रिश्चियन है वो अपनी प्रॉपर्टी बेच नहीं सकते, वो अपनी प्रॉपर्टी किसी को ट्रांसफर नहीं कर सकते, सेल परचेज नहीं कर सकते, प्रॉपर्टी की वैल्यू हमारी जीरो कर दी है। कहते हैं आप कानून देख लो, आप संविधान देख लो, आप इकोनॉमी देख लो, आप आइडियोलॉजी देख लो, पॉलिटिक्स देख लो, हम लगातार हाशिए पर आते जा रहे हैं। उसका भाई आया मेरे सामने फोन पर, उसके भाई ने कहा, जो ढाका यूनिवर्सिटी का छात्र था, उसने कहा दीदी हिंदू लाइव्स डोंट मैटर। उसने कहा कि 1947 में हम 30% थे, किसी ने पूछा 2024 में 8% से कम कैसे रह गए हैं, और आगे लगभग 1 साल 1.5 साल में कितने रहेंगे हमें खुद ही नहीं पता। आप किसका इंटरव्यू लेंगे, शायद वो भी बचेंगे कि नहीं बचेंगे, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान में कितने थे खत्म हो गए, अफगानिस्तान में कितने थे खत्म हो गए, आज बांग्लादेश में 7.9% के आसपास बचे हैं ना, वो भी खत्म हो जाए। कहते हैं और जितनी ये ग्लोबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, दे आर कंसर्न्ड अबाउट ग्लोबल मेजॉरिटीज, क्रिश्चियंस एंड मुस्लिम्स। Nobody cares for the largest global minority, that is Hindus. We are not majority, उसने कहा। कहते we are the largest global minority। कहते दुनिया भर में हम माइनॉरिटी हैं, नहीं होते तो अफगानिस्तान, पाकिस्तान और बांग्लादेश में कितने थे और कितने रह गए। कहते हम पे कितने अत्याचार होते हैं, कोई बोलता ही नहीं है, बिकॉज दे आर कंसर्न अबाउट। 1 लाख मरा जाता है, पूरी दुनिया में भारत इंटॉलरेंट हो जाता है। नहीं मरना चाहिए किसी को, हिंसा बुरी है, रूल ऑफ लॉ होना चाहिए, इक्वालिटी, फ्रीडम, डिग्निटी होनी चाहिए। एक व्यक्ति कहीं मरता है, दुनिया भर के लोग खड़े हो जाते हैं उसके लिए, और नरेटिव आ जाता है इस्लामोफोबिया का। ये वो ढाका का हिस्ट्री ऑनर्स का छात्र बोल रहा है। उसने कहा कि एक किसी चर्च पर किसी ने अटैक कर दिया, कोई चोर घुस गया, क्रिश्चियन परसिक्यूशन, अटैक ऑन क्रिश्चियन चर्चेस। ये पूरा नरेटिव बन जाता है ग्लोबल मेजॉरिटी के लिए, जिनके पास 160 देश हैं, मुस्लिम्स के पास लगभग 60 देश हैं। कहते हमारे लिए कोई नहीं बोलता। कहते हमारी पार्टीशन में 1947 में 50 लाख से ऊपर ऑफिशियली डॉक्यूमेंटेड है, लोग खत्म हो गए, कोई नहीं बोला। कहते कितनी बॉलीवुड की, हॉलीवुड की मूवीज बनी है, ये वो मुझसे पूछ रहा था। कहते ज्यूज, 60 लाख ज्यूज का परसिक्यूशन हुई है, 1000 से ज्यादा हॉलीवुड की मूवीज हैं, टॉप मोस्ट एक्टर्स उसमें आए हैं, वो इसको भूलने नहीं देते। ज्यू दुनिया भर में कहीं भी कोई ज्यू है, वो इसको भूलता नहीं है कि मेरे पूर्वजों के साथ क्या हुआ है। उसने कहा दीदी हम जॉर्ज ऑरवेल को पढ़ रहे हैं। जॉर्ज ऑरवेल ने अपनी किताब में लिखा था, दोज हु कंट्रोल द पास्ट कंट्रोल द प्रेजेंट, कंट्रोल द फ्यूचर। कहते वो अपने पास्ट को बताते हैं अपनी आने वाली जनरेशंस को, हमारे साथ ये हुआ था, भूलना नहीं है। उनकी जनरेशन आज कहती है कि जो हमारे पूर्वजों के साथ हुआ था वो हम आज नहीं होने देंगे, और अपने बच्चों को कहती है कि जो उनके साथ हुआ था हमने वो आज नहीं होने दिया, तुम वो कल नहीं होने देना। तो हमारे बारे में बच्चे कहते हैं डोंट टॉक अबाउट हॉरर्स ऑफ पार्टीशन, मत बात करो, कम्युनल है। कहते हमें हमारी हिस्ट्री बताई ही जाती, हम हैं कौन। कहते वहां बताया जाता है। कहते दीदी आज किसी मस्जिद से देख लो, वहां पर कहते जमात के लोग जा जाकर क्या बोल रहे हैं, बड़ी बड़ी रैलीज कर रहे हैं, और क्या कह रहे हैं, 1000 साल तक हमने इस पूरे एरिया में राज किया है, फिर से राज करने की बारी है। ये वो ढाका यूनिवर्सिटी का स्टूडेंट बोल रहा है, जिस यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट से जब दोबारा मेरी अभी बात हुई है, लगभग 3 दिन पहले उसने कहा कि वहां यूनिवर्सिटी के मेन गेट के आगे उन्होंने भारत का तिरंगा बिछा दिया है, जो आएगा उस पर पैर रख कर आगे जाएगा। मैं सुन रही थी, मैं आगे बढ़ रही थी कि बाकी लोगों से मुझे बात करनी है, और आगे जब बात की मैंने तो मुझे एक प्रोफेसर साहब से बात हुई, और ये बात हुई मेरी अभी पीछे, क्योंकि बीच में लगभग 2 महीने बात नहीं हुई, क्योंकि हिंदुओं के ऊपर अत्याचार चल रहा था, वो सुर्खियों से गायब हो गया था, वो लास्ट पेजेस पर आ गया था। फिर चिन्मय कृष्ण दास अरेस्ट हो जाते हैं, फिर से न्यूज में आ जाता है, फिर से हिंदू इकट्ठा हो जाता है, पूरे हिंदुस्तान का और दुनिया का बात करने लगता, इकट्ठा होता है बात करने के लिए। तो 25 नवंबर 2024 को चिन्मय कृष्ण दास, जो इस्कॉन के बांग्लादेश के एक फॉर्मर मेंबर रहे हैं, वो अरेस्ट हो जाते हैं। वो बांग्लादेश सनातन जागरण मंच के स्पोक्स पर्सन हैं। उन्होंने बड़ी रैली ऑर्गेनाइज की थी 25 अक्टूबर 2024 को लाल दीघी मैदान में चिटागोंग में, जिसमें हजारों हिंदू आए थे। उन्होंने वहां पर कुछ पॉइंट्स बताए थे। उन्होंने कहा था कि हिंदुओं के एक चार्टर ऑफ डिमांड बनाया था हिंदूज का, जिसमें 8 पॉइंट थे, और जो मेन पॉइंट्स उसमें थे वो ये थे कि एक माइनॉरिटी मिनिस्ट्री होनी चाहिए, एक ट्राइब्यूनल होना चाहिए हमारी प्रोटेक्शन के लिए, जहां हम अपने केसेस फाइल कर सके, हमारा रिहैबिलिटेशन होनी चाहिए, कॉम्पनसेशन होना चाहिए, जब दुर्गा पूजा होती है 5 छुट्टी होनी चाहिए, हमें इक्वल राइट्स मिलनी चाहिए, हमें राइट टू लिव विद डिग्निटी मिलनी चाहिए। ये सब उन्होंने राइट्स दिए थे। अभी 1 महीने बाद उनको अरेस्ट कर लिया गया 25 नवंबर 2024 को। किस लिए? कि चिट्टागोंग रैली में आपने भगवा ध्वज इस्कॉन का ऊपर लगाया था और बांग्लादेश का ध्वज नीचे लगाया था। आपने डिसरिस्पेक्ट की, अपमान किया उस ध्वज का, इसलिए आप पे राष्ट्रद्रोह, आप पे सेडिशन का चार्ज लगता है। सेडिशन का चार्ज उन पर लग गया, उनको जेल हो गई। वहां बार एसोसिएशंस ने और एडवोकेट्स ने अनाउंस किया, इनको कोई भी रिप्रेजेंट नहीं करेगा कोर्ट्स के अंदर। वीडियो आप सोशल मीडिया पे देख सकते हैं। रिप्रेजेंट किया, कोई इनको रिप्रेजेंट नहीं करेगा, जो करेगा उसको मारेंगे। किसने? रमन रॉय, हिंदू लॉयर अपीयर हुए उनके लिए, जिन पर ब्रूटली अटैक किया गया, आईसीयू में पड़े उन्होंने। लॉयर अपीयर नहीं हुआ 3 दिसंबर को। अगली डेट लग गई है 1 महीने के बाद 2 जनवरी 2025। पता नहीं बचेंगे कि नहीं बचेंगे जेल के अंदर, पता नहीं कौन सी यातनाएं मिल रही होंगी। और कहा क्या था उन्होंने? सिर्फ यही कहा था हिंदू लाइव्स मैटर, किसी के खिलाफ कुछ नहीं बोला था, कि हमें भी जीने का हक चाहिए, यही तो बोला था। मैंने उसके बाद अभी जो नेक्स्ट इंटरव्यू किया संडे को किया था 6 to 8 2 घंटे में, एक और प्रोफेसर थे, और उन्होंने मुझे कहा, मैडम जजिया लग चुका है। ईच एंड एवरी हिंदू इज बीइंग आस्क्ड, यू आर हिंदू, 1 लाख टका दो, 2 लाख टका दो, जिसकी जितनी हैसियत है दो, दैट इज प्रोटेक्शन मनी। आपने बचे रहना है, जिंदा रहना है बांग्लादेश में, हमें जजिया दो, नहीं तो गेट कन्वर्टेड। उन्होंने 2 बातें कही जो मैं आपके सामने बोल रही हूँ, आप वेरीफाई कर पाएंगे। सब बैठे हैं, आप लोग सब बड़े बैठे हैं। जो उन्होंने मुझे कही, मैं एज इट इज बोल रही हूँ। उन्होंने कहा, दीदी, जमात अब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो बैंड थी, जिसके लोग जेलों में थे, उनको बाहर छोड़ दिया गया है, आतंकवादियों को छोड़ दिया गया है। ये मीडिया में आया है, पर शायद ये मीडिया में कम आया है, आया तो है, कम आया है। कहते शिप्स आर्म्स के साथ बंदरगाहों पे उतर रहे हैं पाकिस्तान से, उसमें आर्म्स हैं। वो आर्म्स, कहते हैं उर्दू बोलने वाले, कुछ पंजाबी लगने वाले, कुछ हिंदी बोलने वाले, जो बंगाली नहीं है, ऐसे कुछ ऑफिसर साथ आते हैं। तो पाकिस्तानी आर्मी के हो सकते, लोकल देख रहे थे, हम उस एरिया में चांस की बातें इंटरव्यू कर रहे थे। कहते वो पाकिस्तानी आर्मी के लोग लगते हैं, प्लेन कपड़ों में होते हैं, पर पंजाबी बोलते हैं, बंगाली नहीं है। कहते वो आते हैं, यहाँ पर लोकल गांव में जो इनकी जमात की कमेटियां हैं उनको आर्म्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट किए जा रहे हैं। दीदी कुछ बड़ा होने वाला है। कहते दीदी यहाँ 11 बजे सुबह और रात को सूरज ढलने के बाद जो 15 से 35 साल के बच्चों को रिक्रूट किया गया है उनकी ट्रेनिंग होती है। कहते कुछ, मैं समाप्त करना, इसमें कुछ बड़ा होने वाला है। कहते हैं ऐसा भी ये लोग बोलते हैं कि भारत पर हमले की तैयारी, ऐसा भी ये लोग बोलते हैं मुर्शिदाबाद हमारा होगा, ऐसा भी ये लोग बोलते हैं कि हो सकता है हिंदुओं पर अटैक। कहते हैं हमें तो ये भेड़ बकरी मानते हैं ना, अब तो मानना ही छोड़ दिया है। कहते हैं हो सकता है हिंदुओं पर अटैक होगा, बड़े स्केल पर जब बॉर्डर खुलेगा तो वहां से इन्फिल्ट्रेशन इंडिया में आएगी, तो मुर्शिदाबाद और आसपास के सब एरियाओं को वो एक्सप्लोर करेंगे और एक लार्जर बांग्लादेश की तैयारी है। कहते भारत पर हमला होने वाला है, वो बॉर्डर से होगा या अदरवाइज होगा वो देखने की बात है। और मैंने उससे लास्ट में कहा उसी प्रोफेसर से, मैंने कहा इंटरनेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स डे आने वाला है, कुछ कहना चाहोगे आप? पूरे भारत में हम लोग कार्यक्रम करने वाले हैं, कुछ कहना चाहोगे? कहते थे इंटरनेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स डे, इंटरनेशनल ह्यूमन राइट्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के ऑफिसर्स यहाँ आते हैं। मोहम्मद यूनुस जो पीस प्राइज, जिसको नोबेल पीस प्राइज मिला है, जो इंटरिम गवर्नमेंट का एडवाइजर है, कहते इंटरिम गवर्नमेंट तो है नहीं, ये एडवाइजर किस चीज का है यही नहीं पता हमें। कहते उसके आने के बाद डिक्टेटरशिप आ जाती है, बोलने पे पाबंदी लग जाती है, जेनोसाइड शुरू हो जाता है और ये लोग आकर उस तरह चाय पीकर और वापस चले जाते हैं। किस ह्यूमन राइट्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की बात कर रहे हैं? हमारा ह्यूमन राइट्स डॉक्यूमेंट जो है, यूनिवर्सल डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स, वो कहता है कि सबको राइट टू इक्वालिटी है, फ्रीडम है, डिग्निटी है, फ्रीडम ऑफ रिलीजन है। कहाँ है दीदी? कहते हैं कि ह्यूमन राइट्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस देखती हैं कि एवरीबॉडी इज हेल्ड अकाउंटेबल फॉर वायलेशन ऑफ ह्यूमन राइट्स। कहाँ हो रहा है? जैसे सर ने कहा ना, माइट इज राइट, करना होगा। और वहां यूरोपियन कंट्रीज बैठकर रिजीम चेंज का मजा ले रही हैं। जो सीरिया में किया है, जो लिबिया में किया है, जो लेबनान में किया है, जो इराक में किया है लीगली इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ, वही बांग्लादेश में हुआ है। सिंपल स्ट्रेटजी है। अमेरिका को वियतनाम की तरह या अफगानिस्तान की तरह अपने ट्रूप्स वहां नहीं भेजने, सोशल मीडिया यूज करना है, किसी भी एक लॉ को लेकर प्रोटेस्ट शुरू कर देनी है, जबरदस्त पॉइजन भरना है स्टूडेंट्स और बाकी लोगों के दिमाग में, उनको लगेगा बस सत्ता चेंज करनी है, सत्ता को अंडर वो करना है, डिस्क्रेडिट कर देना है, ये तो डिक्टेटर हैं, ये तो लीगली इलेक्टेड नहीं हुए, इनकी ईवीएम्स खराब है, इलेक्शन कमीशन बिका हुआ है, अनडेमोक्रेटिक है, ये सब कर देना है, इतना पॉइजनस एटमॉस्फेयर कर देना है कि लोग रिवोल्ट के लिए खड़े हो जाएं, वेपनाइज कर दो मासेस को, रिवोल्ट हो गया, तख्ता पलट हो गया, अमेरिका अपने घर बैठा हुआ है, बांग्लादेश खत्म हो गया। मैं सोच रही थी हिंदुस्तान में भी तो यही हो रहा है, किसान आंदोलन, सीए, इलेक्शंस में डिक्टेटरशिप, अनडेमोक्रेटिक, यही तो सब हो रहा है। तो कैन वी ऑल्सो बी गिनी पिग्स ऑफ दिस लार्जर अमेरिकन वेस्टर्न डिजाइन? आंसर इज नो। हम वो लोग हैं जो 1000 साल के बाद भी आज हैं, कम हुए हैं पर आज हैं, इसलिए आज यहाँ पर बैठे हैं। तो आखिर में यही बात कह के अपनी बात समाप्त करूंगी। जब बोला जाता ना एक है तो सेफ है, मुझे लगता है इट अंडरलाइंस what the global minority Hindus should believe in. Attack on Hindu anywhere is an attack on Hindu everywhere. तो अगर बांग्लादेश में कुछ होता है तो एक है तो सेफ है, पूरी दुनिया के हिंदुओं को बोलना चाहिए कि हम किसी पर अटैक नहीं करते, कोई हमारे भाई पर अटैक करेगा हम बोलेंगे। इतने सीईओज हमारे हैं, इतने पॉलिटिशियंस हमारे हैं, इतने मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट हमारे हैं, दुनिया भर के अंदर प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स, प्रेसिडेंट्स हमारे हैं, दे हैव टू स्पीक। एक है तो सेफ। और दूसरी बात, बांग्लादेश एक नया एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं है। आप लोगों ने और हमारे लोगों के पूर्वजों ने ये तो बाबर और औरंगजेब के समय से देखा है। एग्जैक्टली वही हो रहा है बांग्लादेश के अंदर। हमारे पूर्वजों ने सहा, लड़ा और जीते, हम भी आज जीतेंगे। बिकॉज एब्सेंस ऑफ पीस एनीवेयर इज अ थ्रेट टू पीस एवरीवेयर। तो यही बात कह के मैं अपनी बात समाप्त करूंगी कि मुश्किल समय है, जैसा सर ने कहा, हिंदुस्तान बड़ा देश है। उत्तर प्रदेश में ही कई सारे राज्य, कई सारे देश समा जाएं, इतना बड़ा देश है हिंदुस्तान। लेकिन यहाँ हम लोगों को इकट्ठा होना पड़ेगा। सरकार जो करेगी करेगी, हम एज सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हम अवेयरनेस कैंपेन कर सकते हैं, हम सोशल मीडिया पे हो सकते हैं अवेयरनेस कैंपेन कर सकते हैं। एज प्रेशर ग्रुप्स हम लोग सरकार को बोल सकते हैं, एज प्रेशर ग्रुप्स हम दुनिया में अपने लोगों को जो हमारे डायस्पोरा है उनको बोल सकते हैं। 4 लोग हो 40 लोग हो, खड़े हो एम्बेसी पे जाके वहां पर खड़े हो जाओ से हिंदू लाइव्स मैटर। सफल होंगे असफल होंगे जिंदा रहेंगे। इट्स एन इशू ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस, क्राइसिस ऑफ एग्जिस्टेंस। तो असफलता एक चुनौती है, हम स्वीकार कर रहे हैं। पर आज बांग्लादेश का वो हिंदू बोल रहा है कि मैं तो देवत्व में विश्वास करता हूं कि मुझ में और तुझ में कोई अंतर नहीं है, सब में उसी ईश्वर का वास है, सभी रास्ते उस ईश्वर के पास जाते हैं।
One year later, the Bano Kayanaka, a Jewish minority, was expelled from that area. Why? They did not accept Islam. Now, next year, in 625, Banu Nazir, another Jewish tribe, was expelled from there. In 627, another Banu Quraiza, they were expelled from there. So, Prophet Muhammad said that in Islamic country, non-Muslims have no rights at all. This is the fundamental theology of Islam, unless we remember this one. Now coming to India, you take in Kashmir, what happened? Whatever Prophet Muhammad implemented in Medina and that area was implemented in Kashmir. Inspiration, the theology. Now, the Kashmiri Pandits, about 150,000 of them had been expelled from there. They had been given notices within 36 hours, get out from here. There was a Muslim Chief Minister, Farooq Abdullah. Did he prevent it? In the government of India, there was a Muslim Home Minister. Did he prevent it? And there was a Prime Minister. Singh was there. Did he prevent it? No. Because it is theologically compulsory to have a clean country where there are no non-Muslims at all. Friends, in Bangladesh, it is not first time that this has happened. It has been happening from 1946 Navakali onwards. 15th of August 1946 onwards, it has been happening. Several times it has happened. In the west of India, it was one time. Within 2 to 3 months, all the exchange has taken place with violence, etc. But here, you do expel them, stop it. Expel them, stop it. So in ways it has been going on, and Hindus have been fooling themselves, saying that next time there will be peace. In 1950, February, March, there was a great exodus of Hindus from Bangladesh. Sardar Patel went to Calcutta and declared, I am going to liberate a number of districts, put a military cordon and save the Hindus. Immediately, Liaquat Ali Khan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, came running, not to the government, but to Nehru's house. There was a Nehru-Liaquat Ali Pact. In the house, when it came for ratification in the cabinet, Narahari Vishnu Gadge said, no. Why? You have signed for reservation in the armed forces for Muslims. You have signed for reservation in the government of India employment. We won't accept it. I am the Prime Minister. I have signed. Then you dismiss all of us. That's what Gadge said. So the Deputy Prime Minister adjourned the meeting, and next day there was another version of Nehru-Liaquat Ali Pact. But that was violated again and again and again until now. It has been happening. So let us not fool ourselves that Hindus in Pakistan, in Bangladesh or in any Muslim country will be safe. What should be done? Exchange of population should be done. exchange of population should be done. In fact, Muslim League wanted it. Muslim League wanted it. And Zafrullah Khan said that if Hindus prevent it, I will enact a Nadir Shah in India. But Gandhi and Nehru said there will be no exchange of population. Whereas Dr. Ambedkar said on the termination of the Turkish Empire, there was exchange of population between Turkey and Greece, between Turkey and Bulgaria under the auspices of the League of Nations. So what we have to now ask is, there is no place for any non-Muslims in an Islamic country. It has been proved again and again by the expulsion of Hindus and Sikhs etc. from Pakistan as well as Bangladesh. We want an exchange of population. The Bangladesh population is 17 crores 30 lakhs and the Hindu population is 1 crore 43 lakhs, 7.95%. So we should bring them to India as a safety and expel as many of the Muslims from here, especially where they are concentrated on the West Bengal borders, Jharkhand, Bihar. The population density is the highest, of course Gaza is the highest, 40,000 per square kilometer. Here it is 1177 people per square kilometer in Bangladesh. Then Bihar is the highest in India, 1175 people per square kilometers. Now we have to exchange the population. That is the only safety, there is no other safety for Hindus. We will be fooling again and again and again, and we will make buckeries. When there is Islamic Declaration of Human Rights, 62 countries in the OIC are passing resolution against India every year when they meet. Then why are we fooling that there will be peace, that Hindus will have human rights? They are not human rights. There is the Islamic Declaration of Human Rights. So their definition of human rights is only Muslims have human rights. Others don't have. They are all to be either converted or killed or expelled, as it has happened in Kashmir. And we go on saying Panun Kashmir, so many of them are saying Kashmir Amara, we are the Kashmiris, etc. Like that. So I will stop at this. Exchange of population is the only lasting solution. Otherwise everybody will be fooling. And there must be exchange of population in the proportion in which it has been happening. That is, 8.95% of Muslims in 1951 in India, they have grown up to 20%. Right? So these are all danger signals. There will be no peace. There is no peace here in India. In Hyderabad, there is no peace. Khabardar. That's what the warning that they have given. Hydra is smashing all buildings which are not sanctioned. But the Kuli Kuzub Shah development area that's called Old Hyderabad, like Khabardar, nobody should come here, and we have obeyed that one. So gentlemen and ladies, the only solution is exchange of population, either under the auspices of the United Nations or whatever would be there. We should raise this in United Nations. We should raise this issue in the court, the Hague, International Court of Justice, that there are no rights for us. I will stop at this. Dhanyawad.
As brief as possible, and also kindly restrict to the topic today, that is the human rights, particularly the attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh. There are other...
The big brother, not so big brother, exist. Expressing by intellectuals of this forum today that we should find a solution to the atrocities being caused on the Hindus in Bangladesh. A soft solution or a hard solution or a mid path. You have to now find a solution for this particular one. This particular solution has failed us historically. It's not that it has found a solution, but at the same time we have arrested it. You cannot say it has not been arrested. Otherwise the extent would have been so steep and unimaginable misery would have been caused on the Hindus in all these Islamic countries. Let's not forget the word used by the deep state. We have a problem within the country, but our option is democracy. We have no option other than the democracy for us. Anyone thinks India will have only a state run by the faith that is an extreme position. That extreme position, at least I do not see in the horizon. Somebody has said very correctly, don't forget your past. Don't forget your present. That will forecast like the way coming events cast their shadows before. If these are the shadows coming up, we have to arrest that shadows, see that your umbrella is such, you will not get wet, you will not get sunshine. For that, the solution I recommend is, the reality is, Bangladesh has a revolution today. That's a revolution. Targeting population is a very minuscule portion because their survival has been threatened by America, trying to float by China, and they got into the friction. That is how Sheikh Hasina had to leave. Some of us, including Padmanabhan sir and myself, have seen when Dalai Lama fled from China and India gave asylum, because the mechanics of running an administration of a state or a statecraft, unknown to the politician, be it Nehru, be it anyone else, unknown to the politicians, they fought the war on the non-violence, and Satyagraha was the independence movement. So it is etched in their mind so indelibly, they could not get away, and the Dalai Lama was allowed to come inside. We have paid the war. 1962 war was a result of that particular dynamics. Today what we have done, the mirror image of the same thing. We have given asylum to Sheikh Hasina. Sheikh Hasina definitely was a friend of ours. Definitely. But the point is, you are working on your national interest. You are not working on to manage today. You are working on your national sustenance. We have so many Indians in America today. Why aren't we speaking that? So many Indians in America, so many Indians in all over the country, all over the world. Migration and receiving migration is an extension of human rights and existence. As Bangladesh and Hindus are concerned, it will find its place. Our media must continuously attack, continuously bring it to the forum. Our external affairs must continuously pressurize that country, both economically, politically, and diplomatically. Then only things will find an answer. It's my belief. Hindus will have to be protected. There is no escape from that. But the dynamics of the present democracy cannot be forgotten. Thank you very much.
The major enemy inside is our own Hindu. I will quote just 3 examples in context of Bangladesh. About 10 days back, I received a post from a predominantly Hindu group after the arrest of Swami Chinmay, saying that he has been disowned by ISKCON for nefarious activities. That is one thing. Second is, I received a post of an interview of a lady, apparently a Hindu lady from Bangladesh, who spoke totally against negating what is happening in Bangladesh as described by Ms. Monica. Third is, yesterday in a party, a highly educated retired army officer asked me, he said, don't you think it is a little bit exaggerated? You know, the press coming out with what is happening. So my point is, lots of, you can say, false narratives are being spread predominantly by Hindus in India. Therefore, as you said, unless we unite, we can do nothing. We won't be able to do nothing. We have to stand as one and make the world aware of what is happening in Bangladesh. We have to pressurize international community to act against a nation. As India, we cannot use force now. Unfortunately, we are not able to use other means also. So we have to pressurize the international community by making them aware of what is happening in Bangladesh. I think that is going to be the only solution to this. Thank you very much.
Afghanistan has been cleared, Pakistan is almost cleared, and Bangladesh will be cleared. And let's not delude ourselves, we are also living on borrowed time in India. We have speeches right here in this state where 15 minutes are sought to clear out all the Hindus or whatever. So we have those speeches here also. We have the document of the Popular Front of India 2047, which clearly tells what is the percentage required to dominate the country here and then implement the Sharia or whatever that they are going to do. And we also have, rightly pointed out by the senior person here, we have Hindus within the country who are against ourselves, so we need to unite, we need to understand what kind of ideology we are living with, what kind of ideology we are going to face in the future, and if we don't realize that, then we are bound to be finished. That's my, I'm sorry to say, that's my conclusion. So let's be clear. In Tamil Nadu during the elections, Hindutva were called AIDS and COVID and whatnot. What did we do? Now Iltija Mufti has come out with saying that Hindutva is a disease. What reaction has happened? You try and say this for the other ideology and see, you will become Nupur Sharmas, all of you. You will go hiding yourself. So let's not, and Nupur Sharma did not say anything wrong. She said what is written in the text. So let's be very clear that they are very clear. We are the persons who are confused, deluded and obfuscated. We think that, we are living in a democracy, it's very fine. That democracy is all very short-lived. Please read the PFI document, which was detected and brought out in Patna, I think, Bihar. Read the PFI document. Read the guiding principles of Hamas. Read them. What do they say? They are all religious. Nothing is talked in terms of rights and minorities or the justice. It's all religion. So let's be very clear. Thank you so much.
As a Hindu, we don't have a proper Atma Bodha. We don't understand what is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma cannot be practiced unless two things are fulfilled. One is Brahmyam. Brahmyam has nothing to do with the caste. Brahmyam is, in your consciousness, you desire the ultimate. That is Brahmyam. The other one, Brahmyam is for yourself. The other one is Kshatram in terms of doing duty. So we don't understand our Atma Bodha itself. Second, we don't understand Shatru Bodha. We don't understand who are against Sanatana Dharma. And therefore, we have grossly failed over the last 7 decades or more in setting the narrative. Because we grossly fail in setting the narrative, we are a confused nation. We don't know what to do. There are various steps to be taken above the radar. But there are various more number of steps to be taken under the radar. We don't even do that. We are used to back channel diplomacy, which is absolute failure. We have to have a big stick and know when to wield it. But we have failed in all these things. So I have no idea how we are going to address the problem of Bangladesh. I have no idea of how we are going to address the problem of Pakistan. I don't know how we are going to address the problem of the deep state unless we set our own house in order. We have Atma Bodha, we have Shatru Bodha, we have first of all not even corrected our history. So I am some kind of a pessimist and I am reduced to invoking the Supreme every day in my puja, in my sankalpa, so that something is going to happen. Other than that, I have nothing to say.
I am Major General V.R. Mahendra. Agenda. So why don't you do it now? Government should send some eminent personality all over the world. And also, secondly, this this organization of where the Pujari has been held in this thing. That organization has got 1,000 outlets all over the world. They should propagate everywhere. Every Sunday they give food to the locals in USA. I've seen. So they should push the agenda for.
Very successfully done it. I think you have a point there. Yeah.
The major enemy inside is our own Hindu. I will quote just 3 examples in context of Bangladesh. About 10 days back, I received a post from a predominantly Hindu group after the arrest of Swami Chinmay, saying that he has been disowned by ISKCON for nefarious activities. That is one thing. Second is, I received a post of an interview of a lady, apparently a Hindu lady from Bangladesh, who spoke totally against negating what is happening in Bangladesh as described by Ms. Monica. Third is, yesterday in a party, a highly educated retired army officer asked me, he said, don't you think it is a little bit exaggerated? You know, the press coming out with what is happening. So my point is, lots of, you can say, false narratives are being spread predominantly by Hindus in India. Therefore, as you said, unless we unite, we can do nothing. We won't be able to do nothing. We have to stand as one and make the world aware of what is happening in Bangladesh. We have to pressurize international community to act against a nation. As India, we cannot use force now. Unfortunately, we are not able to use other means also. So we have to pressurize the international community by making them aware of what is happening in Bangladesh. I think that is going to be the only solution.
Afghanistan has been cleared, Pakistan is almost cleared, and Bangladesh will be cleared. And let's not delude ourselves, we are also living on borrowed time in India. We have speeches right here in this state where 15 minutes are sought to clear out all the Hindus or whatever. So we have those speeches here also. We have the document of the Popular Front of India 2047, which clearly tells what is the percentage required to dominate the country here and then implement the Sharia or whatever that they are going to do. And we also have, rightly pointed out by the senior person here, we have Hindus within the country who are against ourselves, so we need to unite, we need to understand what kind of ideology we are living with, what kind of ideology we are going to face in the future, and if we don't realize that, then we are bound to be finished. That's my, I'm sorry to say, that's my conclusion. So let's be clear. In Tamil Nadu during the elections, Hindus were called AIDS and COVID and whatnot. What did we do? Now Iltija Mufti has come out with saying that Hindutva is a disease. What reaction has happened? You try and say this for the other ideology and see, you will become Nupur Sharmas, all of you. You will go hiding yourself. So let's not, and Nupur Sharma did not say anything wrong. She said what is written in the text. So let's be very clear that they are very clear. We are the persons who are confused, deluded and obfuscated. We think that, we are living in a democracy, it's very fine. That democracy is all very short-lived. Please read the PFI document, which was detected and brought out in Patna, I think, Bihar. Read the PFI document. Read the guiding principles of Hamas. Read them. What do they say? They are all religious. Nothing is talked in terms of rights and minorities or the justice. It's all religion. So let's be very clear. Thank you so much.
My name is K.R. As a Hindu, We don't have a proper Atma Bodha. We don't understand what is Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma cannot be practiced unless two things are fulfilled. One is Brahmyam. Brahmyam has nothing to do with the caste. Brahmyam is in your consciousness you desire the ultimate. That is Brahmyam. The other one, Brahmyam is for yourself. The other one is Kshatram in terms of doing duty. So we don't understand our Atma Bodha itself. Second, we don't understand Shatru Bodha. We don't understand who are against Sanatana Dharma. And therefore, we have grossly failed over the last 7 decades or more in setting the narrative. Because we grossly fail in setting the narrative, we are a confused nation. We don't know what to do. There are various steps to be taken above the radar. But there are various more number of steps to be taken under the radar. We don't even do that. We are used to back channel diplomacy, which is absolute failure. We have to have a big stick and know when to wield it. But we have failed in all these things. So I have no idea how we are going to address the problem of Bangladesh. I have no idea of how we are going to address the problem of Pakistan. I don't know how we are going to address the problem of the deep state unless we set our own house in order. We have Atma Bodha, we have Shatru Bodha, we have first of all not even corrected our history. So I am some kind of a pessimist and I am reduced to invoking the Supreme every day in my puja, in my sankalpa, so that something is going to happen. Other than that, I have nothing to say.
I am Major General V.R. Mahendra. Agenda. So why don't you do it now? Government should send some eminent personality all over the world. And also, secondly, this this organization of where the Pujari has been held in this thing, that organization has got 1,000 outlets all over the world. They should propagate everywhere. Every Sunday they give food to the locals in USA. I've seen. So they should push the agenda for.
Very successfully done it. I think you have a point there. Yeah.
Long-term measures, there are certain short-term measures. And both government and civil society have to work. Governmental efforts could be in the form of diplomatic missions being sent to different countries, could be covert, overt operations. But as far as society is concerned, 2 things are very, very important. One is CAA. We have to enhance because it was basically meant to preserve the Hindu population in those countries which have been identified under CAA. So CAA should be used, those citizens who are So CAA should be used and common civil code should be used because transmigration of population 20 crores from India is ruled out. So for that, to address that point is the Uniform Civil Code, and for protecting the other minorities, Hindu minorities in rest of the countries, CAA should be used with full force. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Raja Bhamik here. I am a Zamindars. We were Zamindars of a place called Tangail in East Bengal. And one fine day, my forefathers were told that enough is enough. You have to leave tomorrow with whatever you possess. We are not at all bothered. And surprisingly, few of the communists at that time, they told that you are paying the price for your forefathers being unjust towards the Muslims. The same argument held true when my grandparents from my maternal side, who were running 4 educational institutions at a place called Faridpur near Dhaka. They were told overnight that enough is enough, you have to go. Luckily, this happened before 1947, as a result of which there was no loss of life. But we lost everything. And now it is time for us, like what Chaudhary sir has told, enough is enough. They should be now shown the door. There is no need for us to show any compassion, because we have experienced firsthand how good all Muslims can be. No Muslims can be good when it comes to their religion. They are all one and the same. They have to be treated with the same stick as they treat others when it comes to their religion. It is very, very clear that when it comes to the religion, no Muslim is good. They are only good as long as they are rubbed the right way, wherein we eat their biryani, we eat their halim and everything. The moment we tell them that your biryani is made out of stale meat, that is the time they immediately hit back and tell enough is enough, then you better go and search for another outlet. So what is the kind of love that we are trying to show? Unfortunately, that love is at our expense. And that is the reason why I've written the book, because we ourselves have to be educated of what tyranny we have been facing for all these years. Unfortunately, our history books have been absolutely silent on that front. For whatever reasons, maybe it is the intellectualism which actually has reduced us to spineless elements, as was proposed by Mr. Thackeray. Education has worked to our disadvantage. A Muslim, he is not bothered whether his next generation is educated or not. What he is concerned is that whether he can raise his arms. And this is my personal experience. They learn the language of power and strength. The moment you allow them to dance on their head, you will be reduced to a ganja. That is my take on this matter. Thank you.
The TVs, other media, where everybody, we are seeing the pictures and all that, but the government day and day, they are denying the same. So let us, okay, one aspect, Bandana Bagaru, why don't you at least pass a resolution requesting UN organization, send a committee or commission like that to fact finding, so that entire world comes to know about what's going on. That's only my session. Thank you.
Yeah. Bangladesh internal matter. Lot of false misinformation and false reporting is being done in India media. I mean, how come a country like Bangladesh is using this tone? And who are the people behind them? That needs to be probed into. And he also raised the issue of presence of Sheikh Hasina in India. Even Mr. Yunus also. She is making many statements. From there, it creates tensions. This is the language. And another thing is that Mr. Yunus is looking to rebuild the ties between Bangladesh and Pakistan. And he is asking for the revitalization of the SARC also. And another tone which I heard through the newspaper is one BNP leader and a former Bangladeshi army senior. He is mentioning, we will take over Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. So this is the language that is being used by those people. No sir, this is a BNP leader, and also he was a former Bangladesh army senior. He says we will take over Bengal, Bihar and Odisha also. So this is quite disturbing. So this needs to be looked into. And there is an organization called Jamaat-e-Islami. There, ISIS is creating a lot of problems. So the tone and tenor of Bangladesh needs to be probed much more. And who is behind them? Most probably China must be doing their own tactics, taking this into consideration. So a strong resolution as mentioned. And also I always see India always adopting a constructive approach because of the 4,000 kilometer porous borders what we have with Bangladesh. As you mentioned, if 1% of the people, if they do something, it is going to cause a lot of damage. So India is adopting a very balanced approach, and let us see, sir, how this is going to take place in the future. Thank you very much.
There was a meeting held at Delhi wherein the Prime Minister was the chief guest and all the senior military officials, Supreme Court judges were present. I had an occasion to interact with General Bipin Rawat because to some extent even the winding up of companies in our area also, it is slightly related to human rights issue because employees, people, so many people lose their jobs. So I was also invited. Then I had an interaction with Bipin Rawat and some other senior people. As wrongly mistaken, the population of Muslims in this country is not 20%, it is 30%. Sachar committee has given a recommendation saying it is 29%. It has gone to the table of the then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, wherein there was one Ahmad Patel involved there, who is calling shots. He changed the entire committee report and saw to it is brought below 20 and it is kept at 19. That means the reason why is if they are projected beyond 30%, they fear the status of minorities may go. That is the reason, even though they are more and more in numbers, they are trying to keep themselves officially at a very low population. This is one startling fact I came to know. Then subsequently, when it comes to Bangladesh issues, we have been suspecting from the beginning itself. The way in 1935 Government of India Act onwards, after the population, India got freedom and all, how the chicken wick was formed, how badly country was decided. At that point, our government did not bother to intervene and correct it. Till date, even when 1972 war had taken place, we had every possible opportunity to correct it. We did not do that. And today, we are shouting Hindus, Muslims, all these things. Muslims are Muslims. There is no constructive approach required. Dandam dashagunam bhavet. Only dandam. And dandam has to be used very carefully. And swastyeshu danam, parahastyeshu dandam. And what is that parahastam available to us is the majority Muslim population, how they are reacting to the present situation. 3rd December, the Bukhari says, Delhi, please, Bukhari says, no, it is not, minorities have to be guarded according to the UN Charter. And another statement by OIC says, no, why not Sheikh Hasina has been kept in India? Is that the reason for this conflict? Is that the reason for the unrest in Bangladesh? No, there are so many other issues. Now, the only thing is, danda means whenever there is an issue, we lawyers or judges, we aim at interim order. Immediately what is required to be done? We have to use some protectional measures, protect the borders and seal the chicken neck area so that Pakistan fears, even Bangladesh fears, that chicken neck area has to be controlled. It should be brought under Indian control at all costs. Then only other thing follows. Then how to deal it diplomatically, politically, internationally. As you know, aggression against any state is barred as per UN Charter. But when Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel annexed Hyderabad, what is the measure he has adopted? He called it police action. The same way we have to do it. That's the only solution according to me. Thank you.
And of course, covertly, we should request the government of India to officially take up. Yesterday the Parliament Secretary was there with the ministry, and he has, of course, got assurance from the President, what is his advisor, Yunus, that every citizen of Bangladesh will be secured, etc. That's not enough. So we have to act from three angles: one from government, through the society, through the press and business community, as well as human rights organizations of all the countries. So we have to take unite everyone and alert them and bring their voice also against what's happening in Bangladesh. Then only we'll succeed. So all other actions otherwise will not succeed. Thank you.
Small thing. Are they a piece of island? Are we not facing the humanity problems there? So if we ignore these things, it is not going to stop at one. We can think that, okay, this is a particular problem of a particular group, but tomorrow it is going to knock to your door. We can look at the Afghanistan, we can look at the Syria, we can look at the different places. It does not stop. So the rule of law has to prevail. That is the only way humanity can survive.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
For this, okay, what is the plan of action? What I say from my small man, because many experts are here who are more knowledgeable than me. A 5-pronged strategy may take us to a logical end, I believe. Number one is Dharmacharyas must hold a meeting in Delhi. Only Delhi is the only place where you speak something, it goes across the globe. So all Dharmacharyas, if you can do it, or to Hindu Vishnu Prasad some organization, they must hold a meeting in Delhi and make their voice heard to the media or to a conference, whatever it is. Number one. Second thing is that one sentence message should go to the President of India from all Hindus. The one sentence is, future of Hindus in Bangladesh is future of Hindus across the globe. This is what actually many people experts see. So the future of Hindus in Bangladesh, future of Hindus across the globe. This message, it means it speaks our concern for Hindus, fellow Hindus across the globe. So the message goes to President of India means to give a strength to them, moral strength, moral support and confidence that all Hindus are with the government of India. This to give the confidence. And another point is rallies, as many rallies in our towns and villages, from village to cities, as many rallies we can do, we must do on a particular day, so that the media presents the same. It will be presented in the media that across the globe, the Hindus or non-Hindu, whatever the entire world comes to know, that here the Hindus are raising their voice against the injustice that is being caused to them, whether in Bangladesh or elsewhere. And the important this thing is that this is a long-term program. That is, a message should reach all youngsters in the country, particularly Hindus. That is, see, your family will pay heavy price. Your family will pay heavy price in the future if you ignore the welfare of Hindus in Bangladesh today. My point is that so we can make all the Hindus feel at least the burning situation in Bangladesh. Thank you very much.
Bangladesh is at the converging point of India's neighborhood first policy, Act East policy, Sagar Doctrine, the Indo-Pacific vision, and an important partner in the development of India's northeastern region. The protests in Bangladesh from July 2024 against the quota in government jobs led to change in the government and formation of a new government under the leadership of Professor Muhammad Yunus, a Nobel laureate. And the agitation took an ugly turn of yet another attempt of targeting Hindus in that country. The fact is that violence against the Hindu minority in Bangladesh makes the agitation even more sad and sinister. The genocide and suppression of Bangladeshis in early 1970s resulted in creation of Bangladesh. The Hindu population, Hindus have their right to property and drive away from their homeland. There have been many religious attacks on Hindus in previous decades. A Bangladeshi human rights group, Aino Salish Kendra, reported at least 3,679 attacks on Hindu community between January 2013 and September 2021, including vandalism, arson, targeted violence. The country's minority group, Bangladesh Hindu Buddhist Christian Unity Council, has said that there have been more than 2,000 attacks on Hindus since August 4, as the interim government has struggled to restore the rule of law. Hindu homes and temples have been targeted by rioters in Bangladesh, with numerous accounts of houses being torched and people being attacked. Repeated attacks against individuals, communal violence, and destruction of the homes and places of worship of minorities in Bangladesh over the years show that the state had failed in its duty to protect minorities. The members of ISKCON have been subjected to violence and their temple was also torched. On many occasions, the law enforcing agencies, particularly the police, have been mute spectators to the violent acts perpetuated against the Hindus. There is an urgent need to step up the law and order machinery and restore normalcy, build confidence among the community groups who are reeling under the fear psychosis, by taking proactive steps, including stringent action against the perpetrators of violence. Given the toxic climate in Bangladesh with the interim administration, the police, army, the entire government machinery and the courts all aligning themselves against Hindus, many fear that Hindus will come under vicious attacks all over the country more intensely, and they may also ensure that the blatant violation of human rights, unabated violences, rapes, pillaging targeted at the ethnic cleansing are not even reported in media, despite the fact that the bilateral relations are enriched by multifaceted cooperation in the fields of trade, multimodal connectivity, development partnership, security and border management, defense cooperation, education, capacity building, cultural cooperation, and people-to-people exchanges. There have been sustained systematic anti-India, more particularly anti-Hindu campaign unleashed by Western interests, perhaps with the tacit support of powers that be, resulting in unabated attacks on Hindus. This is a matter of serious concern for us, and the issue has been discussed in the meeting held today. It is 10/12/2024 in Hyderabad, and we strongly resolve to condemn the blatant violation of human rights for Hindus in Bangladesh and urge upon the Bangladesh government to take immediate steps to prevent such attacks and put a strong framework in place to prevent recurrence of such incidents in future and restore the normalcy at the earliest. We further request that all those Hindus who have been unreasonably and illegally arrested should be released immediately. We also urge upon the international community to raise their concerns against the human rights violations and appeal to establish peace and brotherhood for peaceful coexistence of all communities and ethnic groups in Bangladesh. We further urge the Government of India to use all possible diplomatic channels or others to influence Government of Bangladesh to restore normalcy and protect lives and property of all minorities, including Hindus. Our points for action include: Government of India must take all steps necessary to impress Bangladeshis to stop Hindu genocide and minority human rights violations immediately and forever. Explore and employ all options necessary, including the diplomatic efforts and economic blockade. Government of India must raise the issue at all international forums, including UN Human Rights Commission, to force Bangladeshis to stop violence against Hindus and other minorities immediately and forever. All responsible civil societies in India and globally must pressurize Bangladeshis to stop violence against Hindus and other minorities immediately and forever. Connect with reasonable civil society groups in Bangladesh to end violence. We demand immediate withdrawal of Nobel Prize to Professor Muhammad Yunus. Amend CAA to remove date restrictions and include all Hindus and all other minorities in Bangladesh and Pakistan to get citizenship in India on fast-track basis, or employ Israeli model of all Hindus globally are citizens of India also. Recommend future steps to prevent atrocities against Hindus globally. Nip this in the bud itself. Release all those arrested immediately and guarantee their safety in Bangladesh. Short-term and long-term solutions are required to handle this violence against Hindus permanently globally. These are the resolutions which are put forth for the approval of the August gathering here. Some of those points which have been mentioned will also be added to this with your voice vote. Yes.
Things, all these wonderful things, and one or two points are there, but I think this needs to be discussed properly. What I suggest is, this initiative has been taken by, what is the organization? Pragna Bharati. I think Pragna Bharati should have another meeting, call some of the people who have contributed their ideas today, about 10-15 people spoke, call them also, and then redraft this resolution. Because it seems to be a very, I am sorry to say, wishy-washy resolution. So I think if you are serious, please call another meeting of only those people who have spoken today and made some ideas. Let them come out with a sort of one resolution from their side. They can all be included. This is my suggestion. I leave it to you, because otherwise, either approving or disapproving it here, even by adding some point which you mentioned, may not be the correct way. Yeah.
Indira Gandhi has done that before she took action in 1971-72. She met the President of United States, Prime Minister of USSR and some other countries and said, millions on my streets, millions on my streets. What shall I do? And therefore they had no way of condemning India for taking action in East Pakistan then. So I think a request must go to the Prime Minister. He has not spoken about this wishy-washy years. So he must go round.
Resolution. Yeah. Yeah, within 7 days. Please do that. I would also come for your meeting, and restrict the entry to only those who has contributed something today. Because otherwise it would become an unmanageable meeting. Thank you.
I request the August meeting to pardon my sarcasm, but we must also, the names that Madam mentioned were Mandals. Now that was the resignation letter, and read under what circumstances he resigned. He resigned that his people were suffering and they were being discriminated against and violence was being perpetrated over them after Pakistan was declared Islamic Republic. Bangladesh came later. So we must, through this resolution, also recognize the danger that we are going to face if we vote for such scoundrels against ourselves. That's a lesson for the rest of the country and remaining Hindus wherever they are.
Many of those people,
Yes.
Mandal's
Yes, sir.
have come to West Bengal. They are called Matua community.
Mr. Mandal himself came back to India and died in ignominy and absolutely unknown.
And CA is not yet applied to them.
Absolutely. So these are things that we need to also address when we are talking about Bangladesh. These are all related to Bangladesh. It's not a problem created by Muhammad Yunus. It's a problem created by us by voting for the Muslim League and taking our followers happily there and now suffering. So how is found out to be responsible for what Mr. Jogennath Mandal created? Why should we be responsible for some nonsense that our present day liberals and progressives will create in this country? We need to suffer if we have fools like this amongst us.
అనే మూమెంట్ మనం తీసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. అయితే నేను ఒకటే చెప్పదలుచుకున్నాను, తీర్మానంలో అది ఏమన్నా మెన్షన్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంది. నేనేమంటే పాకిస్తాన్ బంగ్లాదేశ్లో హిందువుల సంఖ్య ఏ రకంగా అయితే తగ్గిందో, భారతదేశంలో ముస్లింల సంఖ్య ఏ రకంగానైతే పెరిగిందో, ఆ దేశంలో హిందువుల సంఖ్య తగ్గినట్టు భారతదేశంలో ముస్లింల సంఖ్య ఆ ఈక్వేషన్ ప్రకారం తగ్గించడానికి ఇక్కడ హిందువులు తిరగబడితే ఏ రకంగా చర్యలు ఉంటాయో అదే మనం హెచ్చరికలాగా మనం చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉన్నదనేది నా అభిప్రాయం.
Irrespective of the religion, whatever it is, they all should together support this resolution that the minorities in Bangladesh need to be protected. I am sure that we a very positive signal we will be sending, and that I personally feel we need to do that. Irrespective of the differences and all that, I agree, but that is the approach we should have. Right, sir. Thank you.
Sir, so I think we should do that, And I think I would like to declare the meeting as closed now. Otherwise, it would be an endless meeting,
Agree with him. This resolution should be supported by each and every Indian.
Yes.
I read with interest, interaction of eminent citizens.
Right.
I think we should have more of interaction with common citizens if we want it to be supported by every Indian.
Yes. Okay, I think we can close the meeting now and thanking the madam who has come all the way from Delhi. Please give her a big hand. I think we can, yeah.
नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलसि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभाशिष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे